They say it's always darkest before the dawn. And in the world of motorsports, those words ring especially true. As is tradition, Daytona greets us as we emerge from our winter hibernation. But this year, we awaken 30 years in the past. This time we celebrate a bygone era as drivers take to the unrefined beasts that are the Audi Quattro and Nissan GTP. A new season is about to dawn. The darkness about to fade. The Major Series and Late Apex Apparel proudly bring you the 2018 Classic Daytona 2.4, an endurance race from the ages, for the ages. Coming to you live, iRacing Live, on February 4th, 2018.
With four-time champion Errol Numb posting an opening round win, the sense of deja vu is hard to dismiss. But before you punch your clock radio to stop it from playing Sonny and Cher's I Got You Babe, keep this in mind. Portugal's Diogo Francisco seems to be the real deal, and Patrick Fliss is back and healthy. Today, it is the Absolute Beginner League's Formula Neagle at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for round 2 of 8 on the season 13 schedule. From the Buckeye State, hello and welcome to the Global SimRacing channel and Countdown to Green. Way up in the press box to bring you our Word's Eye view is Soup and Crackers, yours truly, Bill Soup's on, joined by Sean Crackers Ambrose. In the director's chair, it's the hardest working man in SimRace broadcasting, Joe Peak, armed with cameras, located, aimed, zoomed, and focused by GSRC's camera guru, Dougie Beard. As cyberspace flows into your place over these 15 streaming award-worthy minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate the 45 minutes of simulated Skip Barber racing that you'll see live as it happens right here on GSRC immediately following this countdown. Now, the last time Formula Neagle came to Mid-Ohio was 4 championships ago, back in Season 9 when, take a guess, Errol Numb breezed to a 6-second win over Pierce Cockey and Tuan Tran. So, Crackers, since it's been a while, how about a refresher course on today's venue?
Well, certainly, Soup. Today we come to you from just outside the village of Lexington, Ohio, officially called the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Now, this place ranks among America's premier road racing facilities, and since opening this in 1962, it's been refurbished a few times. Now, iRacing offers 3 legitimate road course configurations here, plus a rarely used clockwise and counterclockwise half-mile oval. Bet you didn't know that. Today, we are on the full 2.2-mile 13-corner layout, and in there you will find a very nice blend of fast, medium, and slow-speed corners, one long straightaway, and several dynamic elevation changes. The drivers will face the daunting Turn 1, a roller coaster series of S's known as Madness, and then conclude their lap with what seems like a 360-degree carousel that offers a plethora of racing lines. But the best way to get an idea of what this place is really like is to jump on board the GSRC Skippy and take a lap around Mid-Ohio.
All right, we've got Amjad Yamid in the GSRC Skippy, so let's do a lap around Mid-Ohio. Coming down to turn 1, this is a quick and difficult corner to get right. It's pretty common for drivers to get overambitious and understeer into the dirt on the outside of the exit. That's because everyone's pushing for a great run off the corner to keep themselves safe up to the keyhole. That second turn is the first good place to try and overtake, but with it being uphill in the braking zone, you can get in pretty deep before having to throw out the anchor. As you come through this 180-degree bend, though, the awkward crest can make it hard to get the car to turn in the way you want. Regardless, like most hairpins, it's best to square it off and make sure you can get a nice early launch. This is especially critical with the corner taking you onto the backstretch. Most of the battles and overtakes that happen today are probably going to take place along here. And to add to this potent mix, you've got the heavy braking into China Beach. With it being downhill, it's relatively easy for a driver to push it that little bit further and get stuck in the sand on the other side. But the interesting thing about passes here is the track switches back. Sometimes it can be possible to defend from the outside if you can stay side by side until the blind entry to madness. Then the circuit swings off to the right one more time, and that guides the car into the S's of 7 and 8. But the curved braking going from 8 to 9 makes it tough to both keep the car stable and not clip the grass. Then you have to attack turn 9. Early apex the car so that you have a straighter exit over the hump. And now we're into Thunder Valley. As the track weaves to the right, hug all the way up to that Armco because you really need every inch of track for this next bit. Dab the brakes and swing it over the blind crest of 11, then pray you didn't take it too fast. If you stayed on track, don't get too excited celebrating because you'll want to slow the car up for the carousel. There's a few ways to tackle this beast, but with a decreasing radius, I've always found a double apex to be the best approach. After that, fly through the final kink and complete your lap around Mid-Ohio.
Joe Peak taking us around a lap here at Mid-Ohio. And now let's take a lap around the point standings, and with only one event in the mix, these numbers will give a taste of the finishing order of the season opener, with a few bonus points sprinkled in for flavor. Estonia, Portugal, Slovenia, the UK, Finland, 5 spots, 5 different nations. Familiar names of Errol Num, Bush Pink Pink, and David Third Degree Burns for 2 Stupid Dogs. But as we talked about in the opener, there are new names too. This is the first time that the Slovene machine Patrick Fliss has started a season from the beginning. Sami Takola got off to a good start, but for many, the season 13 Num Slayer is Portugal's Diogo Francisco. Moving to the team championship, where Francisco and Timo Vastalampi have Wanderlust Racing traveling all the way to the top of the chart. Frederick Neptune chipped in 2 points for Bush Pink Pink. Not to be outdone, Vincent Breen chipped in 3 points for 2 Stupid Dogs. Sea Bottom Racing finds itself not quite that deep, and they're in 4th with Michael Rugenblink and Johan Vandeveld, the Fanbelt, teamed up there. And I guess if you're on Nomad Sim Racing, doing it solo is appropriate. Neil Bamber all alone for them in 5th. So, Sean, we've talked about the track, gone over the points. How about we look at the race details?
Yes, Soup. Let's look at those details now and get everybody caught up on what we're doing here. Now, this is season 13, and this is only round 2 of 8. No drops allowed in this season here. 8 rounds, very special. Everybody's got to make it if you want to stay in this thing. Race distance today, 45 minutes. It is a 10-minute qualifying session, Soup. And the setup on this Skippy, reduced fuel. Now, what does that mean? Well, they don't have enough to make it to the end, so a pit stop is going to play into the strategy today. They have worked hard on these setups. I even heard some drivers sharing information in practice, Soup. Yes, sharing information. Today's incident cap, 18. You don't want to exceed that. If you do, Soup, you will wind up in what we like to call the twilight zone. So drivers will have to avoid contact with another car or getting off course. Mid-Ohio, a track where getting off course can, well, let's face it, we talked about some of the trouble here already in the opening, can be a factor, Soup, so they will have to guard against that today.
You can see the weather up there today. Nice shirt sleeve for the two-dimensional fans, 82 degrees Fahrenheit, but the track, 108. It's a little bit warm, perhaps.
It is, Soup, and could make grip a little bit of a factor. It could certainly make getting through turn 5 and 6, the S's there and into the jump, very tricky going into Thunder Valley.
You know, you talked about the drivers sharing setups. This series prides itself on being competitive, but a community as well. It's called the Absolute Beginners League, but don't be fooled by that name. There's certainly some top quality drivers here, far from beginners, but nevertheless, it likes to hold on to that family atmosphere. So drivers are more than happy to share setups and help everybody out. It's a great way, if you're interested to become a better sim racer, come on in, take a trip into the Absolute Beginner League. They'll make you feel at home. Let's look at the qualifying that's going on right now. And, man, I hate to be a broken record, but there he is, Errol Num up on top. But, Sean, we talked about it. The Portuguese driver, Diego Francisco, right on his tail.
Francisco only a tenth of a second, Soup, behind him right now, and still has a chance to get a little bit better than that. And, boy, I'll tell you, Pierce Cocky coming all the way up to 6th on his first run. Good one for him.
Yeah, we mentioned it before. Pierce Cocky, the last time these guys were here, Pierce Cocky got, I believe, a second-place finish. He was able to nip Tuan Tran. He was about 6 seconds behind Num, but obviously Cocky likes Mid-Ohio. Let's go ahead and look at the Finnish driver there, Sami Toikala. He's new to the series this season, doing really well. We've seen him on many other broadcasts on GSRC. Oops, he falls to 5th.
That's because we've got some drivers now completing their second laps, and David Burns rockets up the board with his second lap, puts him there in 3rd. Fliss gets up to 4th.
Patrick Fliss, of course, came into the Absolute Beginner League making a huge splash, winning his first 3 races before he suffered a really, really serious injury to his back while riding a motorcycle. He was out for a long time. The good news is, on many fronts, he's not only back racing almost at 100%, but he's also almost back to 100% in his real life as well. So he's very happy to be just walking, actually, Sean. It was a really serious incident, so good to have him. Good to have him back.
Absolutely great to have him here.
We're looking at, let's go ahead and we look at the time here between 6th place and 7th place. This is Bastian Hausman and Timo Vastalampi. What are you seeing there, Sean?
4 thousandths of a second, Sue. Yeah. It's about as close to perfection as you can get, but Tuan Tran comes across on his first lap, 6th, so he breaks up that little party there.
All right, buddy, how important is qualifying here? Are we looking at pack racing? I know there's a lot of technical sections. Do you think there's enough technical sections for the fast guys to break the draft?
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
A lot of it's going to come down, honestly, I think, to the opening lap and how they get shuffled out. But, boy, there's a lot of speed at the top of this field, and the times are really tight. I think as long as they can keep them together without banging them up, I think we might see a bit of pack racing, at least over the first half a dozen laps or so.
We've watched Errol Num race a lot. We hate to give away his strategy, but what he'll like to do as we look there at Vincent Bream, he'll like to stay out in front and see if he can break up the draft early on. If he can turn a 12-car draft into a 5-car draft, that's his goal. If that doesn't happen, look for him to then drop back and just save fuel and try to do it that way, maybe even make an early stop. Sean, he feels so confident in his driving ability that he would rather, if he thinks he's faster, he would rather break away and deal with lap traffic than having people on his coattails.
Absolutely, Soup. Yes, I agree with that. Real quick update here on qualifying with just almost 2 minutes to go now. Patrick Fliss on his 3rd and final lap gets himself up on the front row, Soup, right now, provisionally sitting 2nd with that 3rd lap. Tuan Tran just gets his 2nd one in, and Tuan goes up to 3rd. I think he's got more speed in that Skippy, Soup.
We are in season 13. Tuan Tran is a former champion, but it was way back in season 6. That's just about the time that Errol Num came onto the scene, as he is a 4-time champion. Yeah, Diego Francisco now was once sitting in 2nd, dropping back to would be 5th, I get 4th in the charts. Looking at one of the few Americans there briefly, that was Stephen Larkamp from Pennsylvania. Sean, how about Fabian Youngbluth?
Yeah, Fabian had a strong Camel GT race yesterday here with us on the Global Sim Racing channel, and boy, it would be great to see him have another strong one here today. So about the same size field as we had yesterday for Camel GT. So certainly adept to working with a lot of traffic out there.
Not as big maybe as an iRacing special event, but still very big is the series we're covering later this afternoon, the majors. And you'll see a lot of these drivers have been putting in that time there. There are 4 races going on there, Sean, and they're at Daytona 2.4 hours.
Yeah, and boy, the Audi, the GT A90 and the Nissan, boy, Soup, both cars get around that track extremely fast, and we are going to have a great one for you here later today, and really excited about the change to the major series and what they're doing. So much participation, literally hundreds of drivers as we get ready to go to the grid here, Soup.
Let's go ahead. On the front row, it is Errol Num and Tuan Tran. Row 2's filled up by Patrick Fliss and Diogo Francisco. Timo Vastalampi in the 5th position. Outside of him, David Third Degree Burns. Sami Takoila and Bastian Hausman in the next row. Row 5, Pierce Cockey and the fan build, Johan Vanderbilt.
Yes, and back to row 6, it's going to be Vincent Brems, Stephen Larkamp, and row 7, Christian Kabanka and Michael Hafledazen. Row 8, Michelle Rugenbrink and Henrik Kamara. Row 18th, Luke Furlick, Floris Bishar, 19th, and Rob Adams round out your top 20.
Blackjack is Yukon Lugren, Liam Quinn, Thomas Kick, Christian Meese, Nico Herman, Fabian Youngbruth, Christopher Hancock, Frederick Neptune, Austin Espy, Neil Bamber, Niall McBride, Richard Colum, Kevin Mills, Edgar Sanchinelli, Daniel Barnett, we're going to talk about him in a minute, Tom Vandepol, and Ron Holyfield. Before we get to the grid quickly, can we put up our spotlighted driver today? It is Daniel Barnett. We're going to watch him. He's a driver. You can see him right there. He's only had 4 races under his belt. Doesn't have a top 5 yet. Doesn't have a top 10 yet. His best results an 18th place finish, season 12 from Lime Rock. We're going to keep an eye on him as he starts well in the back, 35th position. Sean, sometimes we have our special spotlighted driver. It's almost the kiss of death. Let's hope that Daniel Burnett can survive a lap or two, because we have one more in-race graphic to show you. Large field here today. 37 cars for round 2, season 13. But all the big names up in front. 4-time champion Errol Num, 1-time champion Tuan Tran filling up the front row. The Slovene machine, Patrick Fliss, in position number 3. He picked up that nickname. He's the only driver to ever put in a perfect Ironman season in the MWT until this season when Sonny Canchin matched that. You can hear the engines start to harmonize. Gather at the chicken steak, cover me on the cows, because the horses are out of the barn, and it is the Roland Estonian leading 36 other cars into the first corner. He's chased by Tuan Tran, Patrick Fliss, Diogo Francisco, rounding out your top 5, Timo Vastalampi.
Already got him going 3 wide through that first turn, Soup, heading down into the keyhole.
Let's see how they sort out. So far, so good. They start to bunch up a little bit back in about 10th position. Oh my goodness, it is a parking lot working through the keyhole. But Sean, looks like they all made it.
It looks like the keyhole is empty, Soup, and everybody now screaming down this down through the speed trap and making their way to China Beach for the first time.
Our leader gets through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everybody gets through. 3 wide farther in the back. One car that got squeezed off a little bit was Vincent Brame. He tried to go 3 wide through China Beach, and he didn't end up in the sand, but he kept the car on the track. My gosh, Sean, they're all still racing.
Yes, they are, Soup. Fast and furious now, getting out of the S's into the jump through Thunder Valley. Everybody's still on track here, still running too wide at some points, 3 wide here.
All right, now our leaders work through 11. They head up into the carousel. Man, this thing goes on and on and on. It is a right-hander that never seems to end. They work out of that, completing the first lap. It's our pole sitter, 4-time champion Errol Num, Tuan Tran, Patrick Fliss, Diogo Francisco, and Timo Vastalampi. Let's run down the back half of your top 10. Sami Takoila, David Third Degree Burns, Bastian Hausman, Pierce Cockey, and the fan belt, Johan van de Velde.
Soup, good battling. Good battling all the way back through the field. Apologize right now for having some connection issues there, but Austin Espety already up 4 spots, got himself in 25th. Floris Bichard just had a little bit of trouble in front of him. Bichard falling back through the field now. Bichard getting dropped now, backed into 27th. Neptune, Jungbluth get by.
We'll just follow up on that. That connection issue is on our side. It looks like those drivers are well connected themselves. We're having a few issues. Hopefully that'll settle down. Oh, heard a little bit of contact. It is Mikael Hoflandaisen. He gets together with Vincent Bream.
Yep.
They were racing in about 12th position.
Hoflandaisen still sitting up against the Armco barrier. I'm wondering if he's stuck there maybe. Car's not moving, Soup. Yeah, Hoflandaisen going to have to take a tow.
And it was Vincent Bream who got into the back of him. You see the blinking going on there. Hopefully that'll settle down for us.
Yeah, back to, I'm sorry, Soup, but back to Espety. He's picked up more, already up to 20th. Austin Espety with a bad qualifying effort, starting to move through this field very quickly here.
Espety coming off, I believe, if memory serves me correct, a 2nd place finish in the inaugural race yesterday of the Absolute Beginners Indy League. If you haven't caught that one, it was an exciting one. Gotta admit, I know it's frustrating to see that internet, but it is fun to see the cars bounce around like that. I apologize. Somebody please call my 95-year-old mother-in-law and explain what's going on. She's going to be very concerned. Errol Num, Tuan Tran, Fliss, your top 3. Let's go to Christopher Hancock. He just got turned. Oh my goodness, and he barrel rolls through. Niles McBride got into the back of him, and he barrel rolls through. We're going to lose picture a bit here for a minute. Richard Colomb had a nice run as he was able to avoid the contact. Boy, we'll do this old school now, Sean, radio-wise.
I tell you what, Hancock had the mother of all barrel rolls, too, on that incident. But on track right now, I'll tell you what, Niall McBride trying to hold off Neil Bamber. You don't want to get involved with that combo too many times there. Niall and Neil, Soup.
No, you sure don't. Just Bamber has the nickname of Bambi. I'm not sure if he likes that nickname. Somebody gave him that one, and it's stuck. Just remember, Bambi is a boy. All this going on behind the top. Oh, let's see how far that lead train goes back. Well, it goes back to about 8th position. The caboose is Bastian Hausman. Errol Num still out in front, doing his best to put in some hot laps to either leave him behind or at least break the train up a bit. Rob Adams with a little bit of a lub tap from Nico Roman, but everything is okay there.
Yeah, they're not cutting Errol Num any slack at all here, Joe. They are right up the wing. Tuan Tran's right there, so's Patrick Fliss. The top 4 really, really all part of this battle. Diego Francisco with a great start to this race.
Timo Vastalampi behind them. Sammy Tukola behind that. David Third Degree Burns in 7th position, right on the back of Tukola, trying to make a move. But again, everyone knows what's happening here. There's a pit stop to be made. And really, the racing really doesn't start until that pit stop.
Yeah. You know, and you know, we talked about how quickly they'll spread out. You know, things don't really spread out until those pit stops get figured in. And based on, you know, the amount of damage someone may have, or just getting in or out of the pit slow can really lose the battle for you here. So leader is going to have to really stay on point here to keep themselves close to each other and hope for perfect pit stops if they want to keep battling like this for the whole race.
We'll have our picture back with you soon. We can tell you right now that our hard charger, Sean talked about him, and that is Espety. He is up into, I believe, 19th position now. He's a coming. Somebody keep an eye on. How far can he get?
Henrik Kamara right now having a great battle with Joaquin Lundgren. Lundgren trying to keep him away, but Kamara really pushing it. And Kamara got to be careful here because Rob Adams is right behind him, and so is Espety, the driver we've been talking about, now in a 19th.
It is a battle for 16th with Lundgren being chased by Kamara, Rob Adams in there as well, and Austin Espety. That's from 16th back to 19th. They are about 10 car lengths apiece, and as we say that, Lundgren has it off in the grass as he was working his way through the speed track, or through China Beach. Now here comes Kamara right behind him, and our picture is back. There you have it. Oh, that looks much smoother.
And really, Soup, this is pack number 3, if you will, because there's another pack in front of them. That's pack number 2. That's going to be led by, I guess, Pierce Cocky up at the lead of that pack. And
there he is in 9th position.
And then you've got the front pack of cars, which is basically 8 of them. Aero Nom all the way back to Bastian Hausman.
Yeah, and honestly, the battling is really, really well behaved until we get back. I really think the action is at that 16th position. So let's go back to this Lundgren, Kamara, Espety, and then even now Liam Quinn has just got around Nico Roman. Liam Quinn now moves up into 19th.
And Rob Adams just had a problem too. So
right.
Did you know what? I think Espety got a run at. Yeah, that's what happened. Espety gets a run at Rob Adams.
Right now, Espety was in that battle, that 4-car battle.
He was in the carousel.
There you can see him getting off, and he loses those positions. To keep it out of the tires, he does.
Results in Adams taking a tow, unfortunately. Espety's just going to get a run at him here going into the carousel suit. Espety can't slow the car down enough to avoid getting into Rob, picks the wheels up off the ground. You're going to see it here. He loses that traction, goes all the way out. Able to keep it off the barrier. I'm just wondering if maybe there was too much damage there on the rear end to continue.
Yeah. We'll see if that takes a little bit of the starch out of his shirt there, as he was really making a run. He's up to 18th now, chasing Henrik Kamara and Joaquin Lundgren. I think that's some of the most heated fighting going on. Can we drop back to 19th, Director? This is Liam Quinn being chased by Nico Roman. Quinn started in 22nd position, has picked up a few. Roman is up 5 spots. He started in 25th, racing to stay within the top 20. Again, Sean up front, they are just putting in the miles. They are just waiting to get to the pit stop. And as we say that, he's had enough of it. David Burns, 3rd degree, comes in. Either he had some type of repair that he wanted to do, or he felt confident that he could go faster. Now, this kind of changes with Burns coming in and out. This kind of changes what Aero Num has to do now. He realizes that he's not only racing, as there's a battle now behind him. Here comes Patrick Fliss, now moves up into 2nd, ahead of Tran.
Man, there's so much action going on this track right now. Another battle in the China Beach. It's for 10th. Christian Kavanga trying to hang on. Ludwig Sawyer trying to get the car in there. Luca Furlick right behind them. Furlick almost makes contact there with Sauer. Now to the inside.
He ducks in. Furlick cannot make the pass, but boy, it's not from lack of trying. Now, just to follow up on the point I was trying to make, before, when Aero Num was leading the train, there was really no reason for him to race any faster than he needed to. He wasn't going to leave these guys behind. That changes now with Burns out of the picture, because not only does Num have to keep an eye on Fliss and Tran, but he's also racing Burns, who's on the other half of the track. Right now, let's look at Burns. Unfortunately for 3rd degree, he is stuck behind Bambi and Niles McBride. This is a mess in 21st position. Frederick Neptune up here. Burns has places to go. He cannot afford to be back here.
No, he can't. Obviously, after struggling there and having to get that pit stop, he needs to get through as quickly as possible. And, well, now McBride and Bambi have been having quite a battle suit.
Burns has got to be thinking, only I was just a little bit faster, I could have been around these guys. And it's not like he's going to have an easy time of it, because here comes Neptune as being challenged, making the move. Woohoo! Niles McBride goes on the inside. Neptune loses all of his momentum. That opens the door for Bamber to take it around the top side. In the tow is Burns. Is he going to force the issue and try to duck in there? The two cars in front of him head down to China Beach. We're riding on board with Burns, looking at the two cars in front. Can they stay out of the sand? They do. Now a dive in there from Neptune, trying to get back on McBride. This is a battle for 21st position. Now Burns finds the opportunity. He ducks it inside of Bamber. They are side by side. Burns should have the advantage through Thunder Valley. He gets one position, but this is crushing his hopes of being with the lead train when the pit stops happen for them.
Bascalampi gets around Toikala up front there. The Finns battling Soup. That was for 5th.
But look what has happened. Vastalampi, Tokoila, and Hausman, they have all lost touch. And there you have it. Now, what was once an 8-car train, we lost Burns. He's out of it. It's now a 4-car train with our new leader, Patrick Fliss, Errol Num, Tuan Tran, and Diogo Francisco. So Fliss has decided to come to the front.
That's all Fliss has been doing since this race started, Soup, is trying to get his way to the front. A great drive going on by him. Deeper in the field, a battle for 17th. Liam Quinn trying to hold off Nico Roman, Osman Espity.
As we look at Liam Quinn right there, Mr. Excitement.
Espity not able to get around these two quite like he had previously, working his way through the field. They are making him work just a bit here. Quinn and Roman have good pace. Roman had to back out of it just a little bit. Bit of an accordion effect there, Soup.
Let's go to 6 real quick. This is Sammy Tokola. I think Bastian Hausman has a run in the purple and black attack of Mama Jean Racing. Not going to do it. This group that's led by Vascalampi has, oh my goodness, they are now almost 4 seconds behind the front group. Oh, we're doing a little artistic shot there as we look at the left rear suspension of Sammy Tokola.
So let's go up front. I really think Aero Num is going to try and, or I'm sorry, Tuan Tran going to maybe try and overtake Aero Num here.
And honestly, I don't think Num would even care right now. But Aero, I told you what the strategy is. Get out front, run early, try to break up the train if you can. Mission accomplished. Which was once an 8-car train is now 4. Once that happens, he knows he's not going to be able to get away from Fliss. He's going to tuck back in, save a little fuel.
Here comes Tuan again with that run, but he's going to run out of time into China Beach. I guess it was a false alarm. Tuan sucked me in there. I thought he was going to try and overtake, and then he kind of backed out of it, and now he looks content to sit where he's at. As long as Aero Num can keep pace and doesn't mess up his line.
Well, 2 things will happen here. If it gets time to pit stops, 1 of 2 things will happen. They'll either drop to the back so they can make their pit stop all by themselves, or they'll move to the front so they can be first down pit lane. We'll see how it plays out. Let's watch Tran. I think right now those front 4 happy to race in order. They've opened up a 4-second gap on the next 3 cars. Let's drop back to 8th. We haven't given much love to this little battle. This is Johan Vandeveld again and Pierce Cockey. 2 veterans.
And Vandeveld slowly chipping away at catching up with Bastian Hausman there just in front of him, Soup. That last lap really helped. 0.4 of a second quicker. So it's like I said, just starting to chip away at it a little bit. They'll be part of that battle soon here if he keeps up the pace.
Okay, we've pushed our luck far enough. Let's go to 25th position and bring up our spotlighted graphic before something bad happens to Daniel Barnett. Sean, he started 35th. He's up 10 spots. What do you know about Daniel Barnett? Oh, as he goes off on the grass. Oh, we've cursed him.
There you go, Soup. No, Barnett. Now, okay, Barnett is from an interesting place, from Mayfield, New York. And you and I talked about this before the show.
Okay.
Maybe some of our older viewers may know Mayfield, New York. And remember from the show Leave It to Beaver.
Okay.
So that's where that show was based, was in Mayfield, New York.
He currently races in 22nd position. He's a parts manager for a Chevy dealership. And his favorite Disney princess, Merida. That's a long shot. She is not favored to win this one. So that's one vote for Rapunzel, one for Merida. I think she's the Merida. Oh, no! And as we look at him, there you have it.
Oh, boy.
He gets into the back of Ricard Colomb. They continue to go, but that's probably a good way to turn off the spotlight. Sorry, Daniel. And our director, just to pour salt in the wound, we're going to look at it one more time on replay.
Well, it's going to be a costly hit for him. Unfortunately, he's going to lose the front wings on that car. He looks inside here. It wasn't a really hard touch. It was the second shot there on the right front of Colomb's car.
If you'd like to be a spotlighted driver, send in your information to the Global SimRacing channel. You know how to do it, and try your best to avoid the curse of the spotlight. Up in front, Fliss, Num, Tran, Francisco. They race the same.
Ron Holofield with trouble, Soup off the track, down in the carousel. Still sitting in there, the grass, waiting for traffic to get by. He's going to opt to run and turn that car into the pit.
26 minutes of racing to go. We'll look at that on replay. You can see it off in the Ohio Alfalfa.
The Soup, I think the pit window probably open. In fact, I would gamble and say that David Burns might be might be safe right now.
I'm pretty sure he is. They can run these cars pretty darn long. It's a really big window.
SPT.
They run the same fuel in both the 45-minute race and the 70-minute race. Sorry, Sean, what's up?
No, I was going to say, SPT, one of those drivers that's already taken a pit stop. Him and Michelle Rugenbrink and David Burns. Those all look like scheduled stops right now to me.
Let's go to 16th. We can follow up on this. Burns has finally got around Bamber and Neptune. And now he's out in front, got some clear track in front of him. He can put in some hot laps. He is 32 seconds behind the leaders.
How many light years to fly around Bamber and Neptune there, Soup?
Well,
sorry.
Light years is a distance, not a time, so I don't know how to answer that one. But I got it there with the Neptune. Anyway, I'm just hoping we get the driver named Uranus in here. That's what I'm hoping.
I didn't mean to throw you off that bad, buddy.
Sorry. I was trying to slip in my planetary humor the best I could. Looking at the leaders. Again, this is typical ABL Formula Neagle racing. Now, they did put in a rule where you get a bonus point for leading a lap, and they did that intentionally to try to encourage drivers to get to the front. So far, only Fliss and Num have taken advantage of that rule. Tran and Francisco happy to race behind the leaders right now.
Boy, those four really, really hooked up right now, Soup.
Now, you want some more tendencies? We've been covering the ABL for a long time as we ride on board with the Portuguese driver. Looking ahead at the Dutch driver, Tuan Tran. He has the reputation of running the car long. He's back there saving fuel. He likes not only to pit late, he likes to be the last car to pit.
We'll certainly keep an eye on that.
When my wife and I went to Disney World, she wanted to be the last car on Space Mountain when they closed it down. You know what happens? There's more cars so that they can fit in the little get out of the car spot. We got stuck in the tunnel. Little information there. So if you ever go to Disney World or Disneyland, don't be the last car before they close down. You may have to sleep in Space Mountain.
It's very dark in there.
It is. It was quite an experience.
Ooh, Toikala looking at maybe.
Yeah.
He's got a big maybe here on Timu.
Well, what has happened is, remember Vanderbilt and Cocky were in that battle? Well, they have caught up now to the back of Hausman. So it's now a 4-car train up front and then a 5-car train right behind them. When I say right behind, I use that term loosely, as they are some 5 seconds behind the front train. 2 fairly long strings of cars up front. Long enough that the girls around the way could have a game of double dutch. You know double dutch, Sean? You know what that is?
I am familiar with double dutch. Yes, sir. Toikala now looking. Here he comes.
Then they're not going to do it yet. Just sitting back there as they head down into the keyhole. I think what's going on here is what our director, when he commentates, what he likes to call, and I like this phrase, reconnaissance racing going on right now. Just testing out, see where you can make the move when it really counts.
Yeah, it's going to be the pit stops that really decide, you know, how the rest of this race is run. Right now, we've still got some great battles on track, but you know, as I suspected, after about a half a dozen laps or so, maybe it was a little bit longer than that, things really started to spread out, and we do see a bit of pack racing going on. Nothing wrong with that, because like I said, once they come out of those pit stops, which the top 15 all need to get right now, Soup, the racing is definitely going to get exciting.
Let's go to 10th position. Sean, you know Eric Carmen? You know that name?
Yes, Soup. I'm not going to sing any of that for you.
Well, I'll tell you who's singing it right now, and that's Christian Tabanka, doing a little all by myself out there, as he is all alone in 10th. 6 seconds up to 9th, about 3.5 seconds back to 11th.
Yeah, my vocal range doesn't extend into that part there, but very cool paint scheme on the car. A lot brighter than we've previously seen.
The Milo sponsored car.
Brought to you by the fine people at Nestle.
Well, you know, they are close by. Nestle's hails from Pennsylvania, and we're in Ohio. There's Vanderbilt coming in. He finally caught up to the train. Let's see Vanderbilt. Let's see if we can pick up Burns real quick. Where are you, David? This could be interesting. Vanderbilt is out on track.
Vanderbilt's out.
He got him.
He sure did.
By about, almost 3 seconds. So there's the new leader of all the cars who pitted. It's the Fanbelt. Fanbelt, another driver who having a great run in the Delaras on an oval yesterday, until he made a mistake late in the race.
And I guess, you know, we can break this announcement for anybody who hasn't caught it yet, but Johan going to be doing some commentating with the Global Sim Racing channel.
Cannot wait. Although I do find it frustrating that all the people from around the world that have English as a second language seem to be better at it than even us here.
Yeah,
who have it as only one language to worry about.
Better English, better driving skills. Yep.
Oh well. Let's look at 11th position. Haven't given much love to him. One of the few North American drivers in this series, Stefan Larkamp, Pennsylvania student. We're looking there at Timo Vassilampi. Let's go back to 11th real quick. Give some love to Stefan Larkamp. Could it be Dio? Let's go to Dio.
I think it was.
Oh, it's the Portuguese driver has ignited.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
It was a puff, and then it was a stream, steady smoke. Diego Francisco blows her up. Missed a shift getting in. You're going to see a pop just as he's getting into the entry. I'll let you all listen to it. Out of turn one here. Suit, maybe a downshift a little bit too early.
Here it comes. And I think you've heard it there. We don't hear the audio on our side, but I think the car is gone now. Now, this is worse news than this. We talked about it in the race details. No dropped races in the Formula Neagle. 8-race season. It is really, really hard to come back from a disaster in this one. So, the train that was once 8, then got down to 4. Then when Burns pulled away, it got down less. It's now down to 3. Fliss and Num out in front. Tuan Tran in third.
Yeah.
Leaders of all the cars who have pitted. It's the fan belt. He's still in 14th spot. Okay, I don't know if we ever went to Stephen Larkamp or not, but let's give him a little love. The Pennsylvania driver. He is in 10th. We finally got to you there, Stephen. He's comfortably ahead. He's got 5 seconds. But then if you drop back to 11th, this is that battle. This is Lundgren and Kamara still going at it.
Yeah, they are. And it's been fun to watch. I've been checking back with this. A couple of Scandinavians going at each other here, Soup. And the battle has been pretty intense, but Lundgren continues to keep him at bay here and not give Henrik a really good opportunity to make a pass.
Drop back just a little bit more in the Baker's Dozen spot. It's Nico Roman, but he's not going to be there long because here comes the man who's made a stop. Johan Vanderbilt. He's going to want to get around him right now. He's back by about, just over a second. All this going on behind the 3 leaders up front. Fliss, Num, and Tuan Tran. You want nicknames? You got yourself the Slovene Machine, the Roland Estonian, and Tuan Tran is been here.
Num is in.
Ah, we go. Num comes in now. Vanderbilt has no hope, I would think, of getting there right now. He's just made his way through Thunder Valley. He's working through the chute, heading down to the carousel. It's going to be a long time. These stops are pretty quick. Num should be able to get in and out.
He's sitting. He's still sitting. He's out.
Now
He's rolling. No, and Vanderbilt getting out of the carousel now. Not going to catch him.
Let's stay on Vanderbilt, though. As I told you, he was going to make quick work of Nico Roman. He has a run on Roman. This is for position. And again, Vanderbilt cannot afford to wait around here. He's racing those other guys. He's racing Timo Vastalampi and Sami Takola. Bastian Hausman, there we go. He makes the pass. Yes, they're on the other side of the track, but they know what's going on. They're keeping an eye on each other.
Kevin Mills had stopped there in the keyhole. Guess he let the leaders get through. Mills had an off earlier, been struggling a bit. He's had a couple of pit stops already, Soup, so Mills just getting out of the way for those drivers.
Now let's go to the front here because Fliss is all by himself. He's starting to distance himself from Tran. They've worked their way around Edgar Sanchinelli. Edgar, first car 1 lap down.
Fliss is in and Tran going to follow him.
They've got to be fast. So immediately, all eyes, all the two-dimensional fans, their eyes start to pick up. Where is the Roland Estonian? Well, he's through the chute. Now he's coming to the carousel. Well, he was sure was a lot closer than we went back to find Vanderbilt before. He's on the straight. Fliss is in. They get into their box good. Come on, boys. Okay, they both start to roll. Tran's going to be out first. Tran is going to beat Fliss. The question is, are they going to be able to get Errol Num? There goes.
Oh.
Num gets... No, that's Ludwig Sawyer going by. Here comes Num right now, and they swap.
Oh, boy. No, I'm going to look to the inside there early. Look at that.
That's Fliss on the outside. They are side by side. You know, Sean, they don't change tires, but I've heard from the drivers that they cool down a little bit when they take the pit stop. And even though it takes a little bit to get the heat back in them again, Fliss is fending off Num right now. This is the best news that could ever be heard by Tuan Tran. Keep at it, boys, is what the Dutch driver is saying. Num to the inside, gets the pass made. Meanwhile, poor Ludwig Sawyer, he's racing in third. He's not being shown the blue flag, but he's got some big names behind him.
He certainly does. Boy, Sauer really, this is an important drive for him right now. He's got a lot of, well, Soup, this is, let's face it, it may be very well may be a battle for the win in this race right now. Is what's sitting here behind him. He's got to be careful.
Tran's got to be careful because he knows that maybe the pit stop is coming here. He doesn't want to get stuck behind him. There's the pull-off. We thought that was going to come. That was nice. He got in there really clean. A good job from Ludwig. And so now Tran is going to be our timing and scoring, showing him in second. Was our leader still? Oh my goodness! Is it? It was Tran's. It's Tran's teammate. Tran, of course, in the purple and black attack, and then Bastian Hausman in the black, and he's the black and violet pilot. He likes to go by. Bonus points for Mama Jean Racing as both of those cars lead a lap. Hausman's going to be coming in this time.
Take those bonus points when you can get them, Soup. No, I'm coming around Tran into China Beach. Trying to take the road less traveled.
Going wide. Let's hope they don't end up like David Hasselhoff. They managed to stay out of the sand. Numb, Tran, Fliss. Oh my gosh. Now Numb. Now he's out in front. Now he's got to worry. Here comes our spotlighted driver. You're back in the spotlight again, Daniel. This time, let's see how well you get out of the way. And that's how you do it. Whoa, there we go.
Nope, car under control. He slowed it down enough. Ooh, he comes right back out, though, in front of Larkamp.
Yeah, Larkamp may have a different opinion of that racing technique, but that's okay. Is Larkamp, is he a legitimate 5th place?
Well, he is.
He hasn't pitted yet.
He hasn't pit. Yeah, exactly. Larkamp, Lundgren, who's in now. Kamara follows Lundgren in.
Okay, what we want to do now you can pick up Vanderbilt. This is the one where these guys come in. This is the guys that Vanderbilt is racing. Vanderbilt's long past these guys. Yeah, so remember, he was in that mix.
Vanderbilt now going to get up to 6th place, Soup.
So with 10 minutes of racing to go, we're still just waiting on 2 drivers, Hausman and Larkamp.
Fliss and Tran back at it again here, Soup. Into China Beach. Fliss going to get through and around.
Now remember, before the stop, Fliss was leading. Tran was always in 3rd place early on. Fliss gets a little bit loose. He's got to be careful. One mistake and you lose touch with the Roland Estonian, and it's good night, nurse. But right now, they're in there. Let's go ahead and look at qualifying times if that tells us anything. Numb put in a 1:35 flat, Tran a 1:35.2, Fliss a 1:35.2. So out of the 3 of them, Tran clearly the fastest, at least in qualifying trim. I'm sorry, Numb clearly the fastest there, but that doesn't mean anything because now it's all about racecraft. You know, and iRacing gives you what they call the I rating, and that tells you how fast you are, how well you do. But when it comes to racecraft, these guys, give them a 10,000 because these are 3 drivers that know how to get it done.
Soup, let's drop a little bit deeper into the field right now. Let's go to 16th right now because Liam Quinn, Austin Espity, and Nico Roman all completed their pit stops. Nico actually just completing his pit stop and now out, slotted right out between these 2. This battle looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Again, this is for 16th place. Quinn, Espity been fighting back and forth before the pit stop and now after the pit stop. Espity again having that climb. He's our big mover right now in the race with 12 spots now in 17th. And I'm gonna guess these 2 are teammates, team talent.
We're looking now at we're looking at this battle for 7th. This is Cocky. He's in here with
Ooh.
Really a battle for 6. This is Vanderbilt and 6, and Cocky trying to get that.
Well, the battle behind him there for 8th is really heated up. Toikala and Vascalampi were side by side there, Soup. In the S's, still side by side.
I think Vasilaki maybe gave a little bit of a hello to Tokoila there. Yeah. And right in the mix, that's Burns. Burns, who was once in the lead pack, took that early stop, got stuck behind traffic. He now races in 10th.
Hauschman, Larkamp, both in the pits now, Soup.
So these guys will all pick up a spot here. Vanderbilt moves up to 4th overall, Cocky in 5th.
Hauschman manages to get out ahead of them.
Look at this as Bastian comes out 6th overall as he jumps to Koila and that's off. Remember, wow, that's really good.
He had a long pit stop too, Sue, compared to the others. Fliss is getting by Numb. Numb back, taking it back.
Numb gets it back, watching the whole thing in the popcorn position is Tuan Tran. 7 minutes of racing to go. With apologies to the rest of the field, we'll try to cover as much as we can back there, but for the remainder of this, we're going to focus up front. It is Errol Numb, Patrick Fliss, and Tuan Tran. Now, Tran had a bad first outing. He's not in the points championship. And now with Diego Francisco blowing an engine, he was up in the points as well. He's going to be farther down. That's not the case here for Fliss and Numb. These guys still in the championship hunt. Both hailing from countries I don't know much about, Estonia and Slovenia.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's going to be an exciting battle for 4th place till the end, Soup. I'll keep my eyes on it, and if anything develops, I'll let you know. But Vanderbilt really trying to shed Pierce Cocky, and Cocky not having any of it right now with now just 5 laps to go.
If memory serves, Slovenia is a nice mountainous country. We're looking there at Cocky. And I believe they are famous for their mooseberries, which is an important element of rocket fuel.
Really?
If I channel my Rocky and Bullwinkle, I believe that's what I learned. Here comes the pass. Here comes a pass for the lead. Oh, he's going to peek in there. He doesn't get it. Fliss looking to get around. All right, Sean. 5.5 minutes of racing to go. Where do you want to be coming on the last lap? Where do you want to make the pass? I think you want to lead.
I really want to. I think you want to have that pass done going into China Beach, and then
China Beach,
yeah, and then let things try to sort itself out on the backside.
So it's going to be all about coming out of the keyhole, the run between 2 and 4. They do have a corner 3 here. It's called the Speed Trap, appropriately named because I think you're flat out through that one. It's really not much of a corner at all. They cross the start-finish line with just under 5 minutes to go. Down into 1. Fliss. Stalking Numb like an ex-lover not happy about the prefix. He is all over. Down into the keyhole. They have the lap car of Edgar Sancinelli. He's a veteran. Nobody gets out of the way better than Sancinelli. Edgar keeps a nice straight line. So these guys know where to do. Numb tucks in behind Sancinelli to get a bit of a tow. Now both drivers pull away. They get the pass made. Here's an opening. Slovene machine backs out. There you saw it, Sean. Again, a little bit of testing, though. Little testing. What can I do into China Beach? And honestly, I don't think Numb would have been that upset if the pass was made. He had plenty of time to get it back.
David Burns just picks up 8th spot, gets around Sammy Toikala. Boy, Burns had really been working on that for a while. Toikala not giving up on it, though.
Burns has had to work hard ever since he made that early stop. Been trying to get back up there. Remember, he was up in the front.
He's got this timed very well, Soup. He'll come around when he gets to the line. It'll be 20 laps on this stint for Burns. Going to be cutting it very close on fuel.
We can stay on this. Nothing happening up front. I'll give you a yell if a pass is going to be made. I'll tell you, though, Fliss is teasing me. Oh, I love that camera shot as we're kind of on the drone cam there. That's a good one. Dougie Beard earning his pay for the week. All right, let's go up front. They're coming out of the keyhole this time. This is the passing opportunity, and honestly, I'm not sure if Fliss wants it. He's 2 car lengths back. There is no traffic in front of him.
Arrow definitely feeling the pressure, though, right about now.
Now the racing line moves over there that side, but now we'll see if he defends. He does defend. Now they go too wide with the momentum on the top side. Put on the reggae music. If you want to pass me, you're going to have to do it high. They go through China Beach side by side. The momentum, though, goes to Numb. Lesson learned. Fliss marks that down and says, okay, let's give one more shot at that one. Now they go through Thunder Valley. This is what Sean was talking about. No passing zones through here. Now Fliss with a great run out of Thunder Valley. Is he going to force the issue through 11? No. They head down into the carousel.
Boy, the number of laps left in this race going to be really close here, Soup, across the line.
He may not know if this is the white flag lap or not till the very end. They come across the line with 1:39. I got a hunch they're going to see the white flag next time by. Meanwhile, here comes Fliss. He does not want to do it. He could do it into 1. A lesson learned. Could make the pass there, but now, Sean, maybe they'll have one more shot at it. They go to the keyhole again. Oh, he's going to get it early. He's going to get him before the keyhole. He tucks in. I think he's going to get this one. Now it's all about the drive that the Rolling Estonian can have out of 2. And sure enough, the wide entry in gives the power out to Numb. Numb has it. He's going to get the reward of it all the way down the straight. Fliss scooting up in his chair, using his Flintstone feet, trying to get that car to go fast down into China Beach. He'll have the preferred position here, but look at the dominance from Numb as he makes the outside stick. Now through 5, Numb is in front. Woohoo!
Wow. That's, what, I don't know, 3 or 4 power moves that we've seen from Arrow Numb today.
We do not think their checkered is coming this time. We think it's the white flag. Numb gets it a little bit out on the alfalfa, not going to slow him down. They work through 11. A good run, though, from Fliss. He's a car length back. Now he loses a bit. Now through the carousel. What racing line you going to take? You want the one that gets you the fastest drive off, so maybe you can make a stab at it going into 1. Is it the white flag? Yes, it is the white flag. That is good news for Fliss. He'll get one more shot at each of these corners. Not going to do it in the 1. Last time by, he tried it going into 2. Let's see if he tries it again. He's about 2 car lengths back this time. Not sure if he's going to get there in time to do it. He's about a car length back. He's a half car length back. Is there if he wants it? He does not take it. He's going to wait. It didn't work for me last time. I'm going to go wide. I'm going to get a good drive off of 2, is what Fliss is saying. He's got a great drive out of the keyhole. Playing defense is Numb as he takes his half out of the middle. But look at the momentum from the Slovenian as he makes the drive on the outside. The Rolling Estonian on the inside, Numb. Again, which car is faster? It's a drag race. It's Shirley Muldowney down into China Beach. The preferred position is to Numb. And once again, Numb is able to close the door. Now, is there anywhere left, Sean, for Fliss? Maybe out of Thunder Valley, maybe the last chance.
Battle.
Oh, he's right on him.
Battle back here. Burns takes away 7th place from Vascalampi.
That's good. We'll stay on the front, though, as they come through Thunder Valley now. A good run from Fliss. He's got a chance if he wants to force the issue. He's got to run. He's going to get inside. They go through 11. This is a sweeping left-hander. Fliss's car gets really loose. He might have lost all of his momentum. Now to the carousel. Again, the start-finish line is quick on the straight. Probably not enough time out of the carousel. Round number 2, season 13. It happens again. It's 4 in a row for the Rolling Estonian. Arrow Numb. Patrick Fliss gets second. Tran in third. Sean, where do you want to go?
Go back to David Burns right now, trying to hold off Ascalante and Toikala. Burns took it away from both of them over the last several laps. He's going to hold on to it. David Burns going to take 7th place. Ascalante 7th, and Sammy Toikala will finish 8th.
Go back, see if we can pick up any battles that are still yet to be decided. Let's go to 20. No, it's 25th position. No need to go there. We'll see if we can find anybody on the track looking for one. Nobody is close. Let's go to 13th. Get a little love to Mr. Excitement, Liam Quinn. He's got a lap car in front of him of Kevin Mills as he works his way out of the carousel. Yep. Quinn's going to come across, which I believe is going to be 15th position when it's all said and done.
Yep.
Neagle Roman in 16th.
Quinn had a really, really good battle going with his teammate, Austin Espity, and I'm not sure what happened, but those two got separated, and Quinn gets one spot better there.
Sorry, I was going to say the Bastian Hausman in that issue, but he was having fun on his cool-down lap. Okay. Put some tea in the pot, some honey and lemon nearby. I'll take a sip, rest my voice. The racing is over here at Mid-Ohio, but our broadcast is far from done. We'll take a short break, come down to run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Back in a few. Sanctioned by the Absolute Beginner League, welcome back to GSRC's coverage of Formula Neagle, Round 2 from Mid-Ohio. My gosh. Yes, the results are the same, but sometimes it's not the destination, it's the journey. And my gosh, what a fun trip we had. Errol Num picks up his 4th win, but it was not easy as Patrick Fliss gave him everything he could ask for. Fliss comes home in 2nd. Tuan Tran really wasn't part of that as he has to settle for 3rd as he fell off the lead battle. Johan van de Velde, the fan belt, comes home in 4th. A great run from him. Rounding out your top 5, Shortville, Pierce Cocky. Bastian Hausman, another good run as he gets a 6th place finish ahead of David 3rd Degree Burns. Timo Vastgalampi ahead of Sammy Tokola. And then rounding out your top 10, Christian, a very quiet run from Christian Kabanka. Sean?
Soup, let's go into the next 10 here. It's going to be Ludwig Sauer with a good run there in 11th. Stefan Larkamp, 12th. Joachim Lundgren is going to finish 13th. 14th, going to go to Henrik Kamara. Liam Quinn, 15th today. Nico Roman will finish 16th. Austin Espity up 12 spots will finish in 17th. 18th, Michelle Rugenbrink, who had to take a late pit stop there. Not sure exactly what happened, but he will finish 18th. Fabian Jungbluth, 19th for him. And Niall McBride will finish 20th Soup after picking up 11 spots.
I believe the points pay down to 20th, so in 21st, just out of the points for Bush Fink Pink. So he's not going to be able to help Errol Num. Nonetheless, he is still his teammate. We're talking about Frederick Neptune. Edgar Sanchinelli is the first car 1 lap down. He did a really good job of getting out of the way of the leaders as they came through. Tom Vandepoel, 36th to 23rd, up 13 spots. A nice run from him. Kevin Mills, our spotlighted driver, well, he finished 4 laps down, and of course I'm talking about Daniel Barnett. Neil Bamber, he was running up front for a while, going to come home in 26th. Ricard Colomb, he blew an engine, going to hurt him in the points. I'm talking about the Portuguese star Diogo Francisco, for 28th for him. Luca Furlick in 29th, and in 30th, Sean, it's Christian Mies.
All right, Soup, and then we'll get outside 30th here. We'll get down to 31st. It's going to be Thomas Kick. Rob Adams in 32nd. Ron Holofield, 33rd. 34th, Christopher Hancock, 35th. Michael Haflidason. Vincent Bremen, 36th. And 37th, Floris Bichard.
Of course, in the all-important Disney Princess battle, it is Rapunzel 1, Merida 1. All right, let's go to some interviews now and see if we can talk to... we got the Rolling Estonian. I'll take this one. Errol, congratulations. This is 4 wins in a row, 2 last time, 2 this season. But boy, you had to work for it today. Patrick was all over you.
Yeah, it was a little bit closer than I thought. But yeah, the closing laps, I had really bad rear tires and it was sliding everywhere. So it was very close. But Patrick knows how to try, so it was total trust there.
Did he surprise you when he made the pass going into 2? We thought that the pass would be made coming out of 2 on the way down to China Beach on the long back straight. But he made an attempt going into 2.
I will say that it wasn't his decision.
Oh, I see. Okay, you left it open for him. Well, pit stops, let's take you to the strategy again. I know you like to run up front, try to break the train, and sure enough, once you got it down from a 9-car train down to 4, then you drop back to save a little fuel, I'm thinking, right?
Yeah, it was... the back went smaller pretty quick, so I think 5-6 laps, it was 4 people or 5, so it's a little bit harder track.
And then it seems like old time when you come out of the pit stops, there's Tuan Tran in front of you. He sits back, saves the entire time. I guess you're probably not surprised to see him beat everyone out of the pit stop the way he was racing early on.
Yeah, I think he had the best opportunity to save fuel, so yeah.
Well, it's 4 in a row. Good luck. The Diogo Francisco blew an engine, so he's going to drop down in the points a little bit, but Patrick Fliss right behind you. He's going to make you work for it. Good luck the final 6 races.
Yeah, thanks.
Errol Num, your 4-time champion. 2 in a row this season. Well on the way to number 5. Sean, who you got?
Patrick, congratulations on a podium finish. My first question, how much fun was that?
Hello. Yeah, that was awesome. Like Bill said, it's not always the finish. Sometimes it's the journey, and that was epic.
You got a little bit of sweat going after that one, Patrick?
Oh yeah, got a fan here because I have a rift, and I got a fan blowing at me, but it doesn't help much at the end.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that pit stop was amazing. But what a battle you and Arrow shared there over the closing laps of this race, back and forth, back and forth. What sealed it for Arrow? What was the moment that you thought, you know what, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it back?
After the backstretch, I couldn't hold the outside. He closed the door. Then I still actually got some runs on him. I made him get some bad exits and got to his outsides, but he covered too well. Couldn't carry enough speed on the outside. And yeah, basically that was it.
Well, man, I got to tell you, it was a lot of fun to watch and especially fun to cover. Next week, or in a couple weeks, we head on over to Road America, and a bit different course there, but it does share a couple of similarities. What do you think about your chances there?
Anyone can win there. I think the train is gonna be very long because the draft is insane. Three very long straights. So yeah, a lot of back and forth. Excited for that one. If it's not the too long one.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're looking forward to getting there with you. And again, congratulations. We will see you in Road America.
Thank you. See you.
All right, Soup. That was Patrick Fliss, and big second place finish for him. And someone just outside the podium, you've caught up with the fan belt, Johan Vanderbilt.
One of the hardest fourth place finishes. Boy, that was a hard fought fourth place, Johan. Congratulations.
Thank you. Can you hear me well?
Yes, perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, that was very hard fought. When I qualified P10, I never expected to end up here. I had luck that Sami and Timu went battling hard together with Bastian before their pit stop, and that caused me and Piers to catch up to them. So that meant that after the pit stops, I could get ahead of them because they continued battling when I went in, and that gave me P4 in the end.
Yeah, exactly. There were two trains up front to start the race, and you weren't in either of them. That's what. Then all of a sudden you caught up to the last one, and my gosh, what a great finish! Hey, let's leave today. Let's talk a little bit about the success. At least I thought it was success yesterday. Maybe not for you as you crashed, but the entire event. That is the Absolute Beginners, the Indy League. Wow, that was fun.
I don't want to talk about yesterday. I want to put that way hard on my mind. No, that was really good. Liam is doing an amazing job organizing this ABL league and also the IndyCar league. And I cannot wait in 2 weeks' time. Not only because racing that IndyCar is incredibly fun, but I just want a rematch. After yesterday, I want to try it again.
What is your take over there? Do you think that is loaded with oval guys or road guys, or do you think you have a good mix? What's your feel for that?
I say it's like... well, it's oval and road, but it's mostly, say, 70% people that are used to the IndyCar and 30% people that are used or just joining the ABL league. So you have a lot of people that are experienced in the IndyCar, but also a lot of people that want to try something new. And that will create a very interesting dynamic. If you saw the race yesterday, you had a lot of people that never drive ovals. I myself never drive ovals. I know Huffley Days, I think, never drive ovals, and there were a few others. So you're going to get a really interesting dynamic in 2 weeks' time when we're going to visit Montreal. And you have those people that are used to road courses who's got to try that. And then I think you have everybody real close. But even yesterday, like, I don't know if you remember the qualifying standings. Like, the whole field was in 1 second, even less, I think. It was incredibly close, even for 30 people. So it's looking really good for that competition. And next time I just have to make sure that I don't crash out.
Yeah, you had a great run, and then you put in all those miles, and then you crashed out of the very end. Hey, well, a good run today is a way to close up your weekend. Enjoy the rest of the week. We'll see you, I guess, in a couple weeks for both of those. So we'll see you down the road.
Yeah, exactly. See you then.
And then Johan, in the booth next to us soon, okay?
Hell yeah. I'll be there.
Boy, We got Joe Peak with us here. You can he's in charge of finding the talent here to put alongside Sean and I. Sean, I can't wait to work with Johan. You can see how articulate he is, and it's just fun to be with him.
You got a lot of new broadcasters coming at you, commentators coming at you here.
We need them
over the next couple of months. So yeah, exciting about the future here in 2018 for the Global Sim Racing Channel.
The business is coming in for GSRC. We are packed, and we're glad to do it. We hope we put on a good show, and the show you want to catch is later on tonight. We'll talk a little more about it. That is the big event here, the Majors, that's coming up. I think we're done with interviews now, so let's close up shop. How about we thank the people that make this possible? We got to start with everybody at the Absolute Beginner League for organizing Formula Neagle and for contracting with GSRC to broadcast. Man, we're happy to be associated with those guys. They are good folks. Thanks to the companies, equipment, and software you see on the screen right now that we use on the broadcast. You always know you're watching a GSRC show when you hear that familiar music. It's iconic now, and it's thanks to Eric Eckham and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them.
Soup, Formula Neagle returns in 2 weeks.
Oh, that long?
The Absolute Beginners will be back on track February 18th from Road America. GSRC will be there to bring you all the action. We hope you join us, folks. Sliding across your screen now are some upcoming broadcasts, so check those out. Mark them down on your calendar. Listen, you're on YouTube. You're watching us. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, would you do it now, please? We'd love to see you back here. If you'd like more information about GSRC, including a complete list of future broadcasts, you can find it on our YouTube page. You can also find it at globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter. Find us on social media at GSRC Channel. If you go over to Facebook and type in Global Sim Racing Channel all one word, you'll find us there.
John, thanks for sitting in for Adam Young today, folks. If you're a fan of Adam, don't fear. I expect him to be back in 2 weeks. But, Sean, you did a great job. Let's, on behalf of Adam and Sean, our director Joe Peak, and our camera artist Dougie Beard, I'd like to thank all of you, the viewers, for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.